What's going on, guys? Welcome to Week One review. I thought it'd be fun for us to maybe spice the league up a little bit with some real time analysis of what's going on inside the league, and so I wanted to bring that to you. So, Week One, it's Monday. Not all the games are decided, but they're pretty much all decided. Jeremy, myself, already have a win over Carl, 124 to 115. Drake seems to have a guaranteed win over Josh at 120, 115. Drake may even have players left. Sarah is ahead by 25 points over Dale, and CMC is out, so that victory is almost 100% assured to Sarah. We got Skylar versus Robbie. Looks like Robbie's going to pull that out, though it is a 20% chance that Skylar's able to bring it back with Brees Hall and George Kittle. But Robbie's got Garrett Wilson and about 22 extra points. Clayne and John, the lowest scoring two teams of the week, facing off in what must be an absolute slobber knocker as Clayne's Brock Purdy, Brandon Ayuk, and 49ers defense faces off against Debo Samuel and kicker Jay Moody. So that's what's going on this week so far. And I wanted to just real quick point out some of the stinkers that we had this week in the fantasy world. So if you had these players, you probably had a really bad time. Starting off at the top, Amon-Ra St. Brown won the first round of almost every one of our drafts. Only 4 points. Wasn't even really being looked at during the entire game. Derrick Henry, 10 points. I'm sure everyone watched the very first game of the year. He looked to be the victim of a Lamar Jackson offense where Lamar Jackson had over 100 yards for rushing and Derrick Henry was an afterthought. Tight ends across the board were stinkers. If you had a tight end that you drafted at any point in time before the fifth round, I'm so sorry. Travis Kelce, 6 points. Laporta, 8 points. Mark Andrews, 3 points. Dalton Kincaid, 2 points. The top three tight ends were Isaiah Likely, who's undrafted, Moreno from New Orleans, undrafted, and then Brock Bowers, the rookie for Las Vegas. He was on a team and started, and he was the third highest scoring tight end. So drafting a tight end, at least in week one, was a major mistake. Another big stinker this week was Drake London with 3 points. I didn't understand any of the hype going into Drake London. He was going in the first 2 to 3 rounds. He's done nothing his entire career, and they thought, well, maybe it was the quarterback. Maybe he's not good at football. Maybe that's why he should have been drafted in the first 3 rounds. If you drafted him, you are getting what you deserve, in my opinion. So you're welcome to that. And honorable mentions for being stinkers: Marvin Harrison with his 1 point, and Chris Olave with his 3 points. Marvin Harrison's biggest highlight was when he was wide open in the end zone, waving his hands, but little quarterback back there, Kyler Murray, couldn't see him over the defensive end. So there you go. Studs this week: Saquon Barkley, 24 attempts, 33 points, the biggest score this week. Of course, Jay Reed of the Green Bay Packers, 33 points. No more quarterback there, so that might be his one flash in the pan. Josh Allen stealing all the points from all of his receivers and running backs by just running it himself every single time. 31 points. Another stud this week is running backs taken after the third round. Here are your studs running backs: Joe Mixon, 27, Kenneth Walker, 19, Montgomery, 17, Kamara, 22, Connor, 19 points, Aaron Jones, 19 points, Tony Pollard, 19 points, Dobbins, 23 points. The only two running backs in the first 3 rounds who outscored them was A-Chain and Saquon Barkley. Every other running back taken in the first 3 rounds scored less than those running backs. And lastly, Baker Mayfield went out and scored 30 points for nobody. So he'll be on the waiver wire. Notable injuries: Puka Nacua, he's out with a knee injury for at least 4 weeks. David Njoku, week to week. Jay Ferguson, another tight end, knee injury, week to week. And Jordan Love out 3 to 6 weeks, though they're saying they think it's going to be more around 3 weeks, which is good news. Might not have to go on the IR. The last thing I want to talk about today, and again, we're just trying this out. Hope you guys think it's interesting. If not, I'm sorry. We can make it more focused on your teams if it's more interesting. But this is where I thought this might be fun. The highest scoring team in our league this week was Sarah's team. And so we got to ask the question: is it legit, or is this a one-hit wonder? When you look at her team, she has Richardson for quarterback, A-Chain as a running back, Nico Collins as a wide receiver, and Justin Jefferson as a wide receiver. What do all four of those guys have in common? All four of those guys had multi-week injuries last year. So her team is an absolute glass cannon That is to say that it blows up big if they're all healthy. But the chances of all four of these players being healthy at the end of the season, it would shock me if her team is at 100% throughout the entire year. So I hope it is. I hope that these four guys who are injury prone don't go their normal route. But I would say I don't think that's going to happen. So our number one scoring team this week, Sarah's team, legit or not legit? Legit if they stay healthy, but I don't think they're going to stay healthy. That's it for this week one review. We have a few games left, but again, most of the games are already decided unless something crazy happens. I'll see you guys in the chat. Peace out.